Welcome to Game 2 of this round of 8 match in the Winter Series 2 between Vortix and Beastyqt. My name's Pesti. I am the founder of EGC. I'm together with Lidakor today. Vortix has a 1-0 lead in this match and is playing to make his way into the Final Four. Talking of which, spawning in the east of the map, and the map is something we're going to talk about with Lidakor in a second, is Beastyqt in blue, playing as the Chinese. Spawning in the west of the map, have in red, Vortix playing as the English. Now, Lidakor, this is a map we've not seen today. This isn't a map I think either of us thought we would be seeing right now, including with these civilizations. What's going on here?
That is indeed the question that we need to answer right now. Before this game, I said I would bet a lot of money on this civilization matchup being Altai because we knew the civilizations, but we didn't know the map. So, Chinese English is a civilization matchup that makes a lot of sense on Altai, and it's a map that Beasty loves. Instead, he picks Danube River. Now, one information that we weren't told before this game is that the global ban, or the ban for Vortix before the set, was Delhi. So, he was very much aware of this situation, and if we have seen Delhi being banned, it would have been a little more obvious that this could be a Danube River game. What's a little more surprising is that Beasty banned Rus here in this set, which means that Vortix had access to Delhi, but he decided not to take it. Instead, he's going to play with the English, a very powerful civilization on this matchup. But one thing is sure, this matchup is quite unconventional for Danube River.
Conventional as a word. I don't think I'm going to put it out there that at a competitive level, China has never played English on Danube. It is very, very peculiar to see this. Someone tried to prove me wrong in chat or YouTube comments, whether in a competitive tournament we've seen this matchup. Very interesting. But that makes me very, very excited. So Beastyqt had this as his home map, so he picked Danube knowing that he was going to play China on it, which is so curious. Talk us through the strategies available and how they might look to approach this. This is going to be maybe a situation you've never talked through before.
So there's a lot of things to talk about. First things first, English is a decent civilization when it comes to playing on Danube River, because you can put a lot of longbowman pressure up on the opponent's docks, and if you go for a forward tower that's going to expand your network of castles bonus as well, you can tower the opponent's fish as much as you can with any other civilization. Since your opponent is not playing Delhi, it's not like your opponent can rush your fish with his own fishing ships if you even fish, or it's not like he can deny your tower with just the fishing ships. So you can really leverage the power of that early aggression for the English, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Vortix is not going for any fishing, he's just going for a standard longbowman rush. On the other hand, for Beasty, this gives him a very powerful early economy, and what I would love to see from him is, I think, what he's planning right now, a tower behind his fish preemptively. Because what this would give him, as he's aggroing the wolves to make sure that the villager isn't getting hit by those wolves. So, what this would give him is safety for his fishing eco, and ultimately, the Chinese want to do one thing. Boom and take this to late game. And do you know what's better than a Song Dynasty 2 Town Center Boom? A Song Dynasty 2 Town Center Boom supported by a fishing economy.
This looks like something that is... Beastyqt has very much pre-planned, organized. He's had a very specific game plan in mind and knows exactly what he's doing. And, oh, is he going to lose that villager? Oh,
Yep.
yes. And it's always dangerous to play against someone that has a preset strategy like this, because Vortix is basically playing blind. I doubt he's really faced China on Danube before, and Beasty has a very specific idea of what he wants to do here. Likely has very much a game plan, something in mind for how he wants to approach this. So I'm going to be really, really interested to see how he executes. As you said, it's going to be very hard work for Vortix to keep up in terms of eco. So he's going to look to have to do something pretty early and get some pressure on, because already just look how powerful Beasty's economy is with those fishing boats. It's already strong and already quite well protected with these towers. So my early impression is that, oh, he wants to protect these villagers though. He needs to send the scouts back to protect the villagers. Doesn't want to lose these. He does manage not to protect it. Oh boy,
Yep.
they've overshot it. That's a bit of misplay there.
That is another villager down over here for Beasty. Now, with all of this said and done, and this is probably the most important thing to do, it might seem like it's a much that you're losing 1 or 2 villagers over here, but ultimately, for Beasty, the thing that matters is getting those walls up, getting those towers up, because he has his fishing eco. So overall, in terms of economy, he's still leading by a massive margin. He just needs to make sure he doesn't die over here. Nice micro by Vortix, though, to block those walls. That's going to be a little difficult to deal with, but ultimately the tower should be able to clean up that scout, and after that, Beasty should have enough time to get the palisades up, and he's going for the Barbican of the Sun. You see, he's just now clicking up the Feudal Age. So, once again, another villager goes down. When a unit is killed on these shallows, they just completely disappear, because there is, for whatever reason, no death animation for them. But when the dust settles, Beasty's economy is still going to be more powerful despite the early losses. Obviously, it would have been nice to avoid them, but ultimately his economy is still going to be the one that is ahead.
Definitely agree. I think Vortix's goal there was to prevent this happening, not to kill a couple of villagers. The villagers, I think you explained it very well, as nothing more than kind of an annoyance. You'd have rather kept them, but there's a lot of villagers right now on, and it's really, really going to be difficult work at this point for Vortix to prevent this happening. I love this. I love seeing planned, unusual build orders, unusual civ selections on maps, and that's what Beasty's done. Right now, it looks good. Now, these archers can be a big annoyance. These longbows, I apologize, can be a big annoyance for the fishing boats because they just pound away. But you would think the docks are close enough to do it. In the meantime, Vortix building a dock of his own, so he is going to try and pressure this fishing economy, which is the right thing to do. You're going to be too far ahead in terms of food eco gathered for this to work.
I feel like Vortix needs to put up pressure with some ships over here, as you said, because ultimately these towers will help keep the longbows away, and once you get a junk out, it's going to be difficult for those longbows to do pressure. The longbows die so easily to the junks over here, so once again, Beast is going to get harassed a tiny bit, but his resource income is still going to be better than his opponent's one, and now with that junk out, the longbows will not be able to do that much for damage. Still, for Beasty, the most important thing would be to have a cross wall on this crossing as well, but that's going to be difficult to pull off with those archers nearby, so this is still a tricky situation for Beasty to be in, because any moment in this game he could lose his fishing eco, so he's going to have to leverage that soon, either with a Song Dynasty or a second town center, but instead, he just wants to play 1 TC and instead go for the Horseman. That's also a clever idea. A transport. Ooh. Nice idea from Vortix. That's very nice. Because if you think about it, the only thing that prevents him from walking into Beast's base is that Barbican of the Sun and the walls. And now, Beast has no idea about this coming. Luckily for him, on the north, Beast's economy has absolutely nothing, and by the time those arrive, the Horsemen will be out. So, as scary as this would technically look like, this isn't really doing that much of a damage. You see, the longbows are taking the scenic route all the way around, and this is just buying so much time for Beasty. Beasty should know something is wrong, because he doesn't really see the longbows anywhere, so wouldn't be surprised to see him suspecting some sort of landing here. He doesn't see the
I was
dock,
just about to wonder if Beasty's got lucky having horsemen just happening to be standing there, or he planned it, because he is very conveniently pumping out horsemen right now, and I wonder if he's... I think you're right. I think he's somewhat anticipating something's wrong, because he's got no real other reason to be pumping out horsemen at this stage. I think he smells something, and they've just come in his line of sight. Now, how quick is he going to see it? How many villagers is he going to lose? He's not seen it yet. Still not seen it. Now he's seen it. The horsemen are starting to move over. One villager goes down.
The officer survived.
Officer survives. I'm surprised. Beasty, for me, has enough horsemen there to... What is that? That's 7 horsemen against about 12 archers. I think he needs to be going in and surrounding and just ripping through those archers right now. Those longbowmen.
He's waiting for the defense upgrade. That's why I didn't dive in here, because at this point, His horseman numbers aren't impressive, but he can get a couple more out with 2 supervisors supervising the stables, plus the defense upgrade, and now he's gonna be able to isolate all those
Yeah.
longbows and clean all of them up. That's textbook gameplay from Beasty. Perfect timings,
Really,
and
really nice.
he's going to punish Vortix here big time.
Oh, they're all going to go down. In the meantime, we're seeing these longbowmen being taken up by the junks in the Danube River, and this is just going to be a huge unit cleanup from Beasty. This is extremely clinical, planned and executed build order, and Vortix taps out, calls GG. That was a clinic, an absolute masterclass. Beastyqt came in with a specific game plan and delivered it in 10 minutes 37 seconds on what is supposed to be a boom map. He saw those longbowmen coming in, strategized for it, built up the horsemen, planned when he was going to attack, and that was just beautiful, Lidakor.
Absolutely. And the most important thing here is that, as you said, Vortex didn't know what to expect. You can have some idea that it's going to be some sort of fishing, there is going to be a boom going behind that one. You probably can suspect the horseman as well. But ultimately, the most important thing here for Beasty was that not only was he able to kill those longbowmen, but notice, obviously we can't see the map over here after the game, unfortunately, because when you're spectating, that's not allowed. But the barracks was built on the shoreline, it was denied. So Vortex tried to go for Spearman, but that was also denied, and his dock was discovered. So really nice reactions from Beasty, and in general, he leveraged the power of the Chinese really well. So Chinese is just a great civilization on slow maps. It's not used that much on Danube River, mainly because Delhi can just put up so much aggression against your fishing eco in Dark Age that you really can't get to this stage even. But on any map where Chinese aren't really exposed to a ton of early aggression in the first 8 or so minutes, they'll be a powerful civilization. That's exactly what we have seen. Vortex took the long way around the base of Beasty as well because he tried to sneak those longbows around, but ultimately that helped Beasty because Beasty was able to get that defense upgrade before taking that fight. If he just moves in straight ahead, that would have been a little more difficult for Beast to defend. Obviously, that's not something that Vortex could know, so it's not his fault. It's just the way things played out.